Guys, is there anything better than a nice, big, thick, juicy ribeye? I don't think so, at least. I love a big old thick ribeye, and today we're gonna do big thick ribeyes. It's gonna be delicious. We're gonna do a little reverse sear. I'm gonna show you how I do it. It's gonna be some good groceries. Let's get started, y'all. As you can see, we have, oh shoot, how big were these things? These things were big, weren't they, Jacob? These were 3 pounds, so they're a pound and a half each. And my old buddies Todd and Scott over at Colonial Meats in Thomasville hooked me up with these. They are absolutely beautiful. We're gonna do a little reverse sear technique on this. That means reverse sear is, we're gonna cook it in the pellet grill first, really slow, 250 degrees, and then we're gonna sear it on the Blackstone. So let's talk about preparation of these big old ribeyes. There's a couple ways. If I got the time, I like to salt these. About a teaspoon of salt per pound the day before, 24 hours. And what that does is it draws the moisture out of the ribeye. Not good moisture, but the water. There is water in here. I don't have the time today. I'm gonna do these right now, so it's still gonna be good groceries. How am I gonna season them up? Well, I'm glad you asked. Old Hussey's heifer dust, asked for by name. And we're just gonna come in, because this is a big old hunk of meat, about like old Hussey. We're gonna liberally coat these ribeyes. This one right here is beautiful. Now you can use whatever you want, whatever your seasoning of choice is. But I would be delighted if you tried out some heifer dust, just saying. I'm not done. I've been a fan of this umami seasoning powder. Get it on Amazon. Just gives things just a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Kind of, you know, old tongue slaps back your throat a little bit, okay? Gives you a little something. One thing I'm thrilled to use is this new Thermoworks RFX. If you notice, there's no wires in this at all. It's a wireless meat probe. You can watch the temperatures of your proteins or whatever in your smoker, in your oven, you name it, it's there. Long awaited Thermoworks. They want to make sure that they do the absolute best thing possible. Test it through thick and thin, okay? So I'm really excited. I've never used this before. I think you can have up to 50 probes on one gateway, 50. So you can have 50 of these things going at one time, y'all. So this is the gateway, what you need. Cool thing about this, it's magnet. It's got a magnet on it, it's magnetized. Stick it onto your smoker, the little, the probe, the RFX probe, same thing. Sticks right there onto your smoker. And you got 50 of them. The app is really cool too. I'll have to do a little screen share of that. But you can put these little rings. You can, you know, that way you can distinguish what's on what. It's pretty dang cool. Now, we're gonna put that big old hunk of ribeye right there. Come over here and get this one. We're running 250. We got Bear Mountain pellets, like a hardwood blend. It's a maple, it's a hickory, and I think an oak, okay? I've been digging that a lot lately. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set our RFX in the app. It's already connected. We're gonna set our meat probe to let us know when 120 degrees is reached so we can take that off of the smoker. We're gonna let it rest and then finish the sear. All right, so you're probably thinking, Hussey, what about the pit temperature? Well, Thermoworks has got your back. The RFX doesn't have ambient of the pit in the RFX, but they give you a probe right there that you can connect right to your RFX gateway. Boom, just like that. Stick it right to your smoker. Voila. This is to combat this terrible information. Whereas other competitors, some of the ambient temperatures inside the probe are not accurate at all. This right here, you got a Pro Series probe. Make sure you do not lose connection. Make sure it's not crazy temperatures. You're good to go. All right guys, my RFX says my meat is about 113 degrees, which actually I probed around with my thermopin, and it's that's a good average. I'm gonna take them off right now. So we're just gonna let those rest for a little bit. I pulled them a little bit before 120 degrees because we're gonna let these rest. They're actually gonna probably come up a little bit in temperature. All right, y'all, our meat has rested. Still got that RFX probe in there. You can tell the griddle, it is hot. It is ready. Let me see, where's my IR at? Let's see where we're at, right in the center. 500, almost 600 degrees. It's perfect, perfect, perfect. Steak right here on your griddle temperature. We're hitting 130 degrees internal on these dudes. From our chart, oh, I need oil. I went over here for oil. Didn't put oil down, just a little bit. I'm not gonna put a whole lot. Let's just keep things nice and loose. I'm not adding any more seasoning to this because we already seasoned it. So we're gonna put this over onto the griddle. We're leaving that RFX in the meat. That's the cool thing about that. Now, just gonna get a good crust on this. So the idea here is we're gonna flip it often. We're not trying to cook this through anymore, it's trying to get the crust. So you don't wanna leave it down on the griddle for too long. Been about 30 seconds. So we're gonna flip it and we're gonna go to another place right there. Boy, look at that crust already. Woo! Boy, that is pretty. We're gonna let it cook on this side for about 30 seconds. We're just gonna keep on flipping it until our probe hits 125, 130 degrees, all right? All right, now, we'll give you a little tip here. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a board sauce. We're gonna season our cutting board. I don't do this often, but I do like to do it whenever I can. Makes a really addition to any steak, your pork chops, your chicken. And that's just making your cutting board a nice surface. Put a little parsley. Just gonna put that right there. Butter, plenty of butter. The red marks on my butter on the package is from Cheerwine that I had explode in the refrigerator. So a little bit of butter. And then we're gonna do a little bit of garlic, just right there. And the idea here is whenever our ribeyes set on that, it's gonna melt, we're gonna flip it, it's gonna be just all in that bath. It's gonna be, gosh darn so good. Gosh, flip these dudes again. Good night, look at that crust. Woo! Good night in the morning. We're ready to get these things off actually. I'm gonna put these right onto our board. Shoo! Look at these beauties. Golly, boy. Woo! My fly fan almost got in the way a little bit. We got a little bit of goodness right here. That thing, it gave a lot of juice, a lot of tallow. Just gonna put that right on top. Let that interact with our board sauce. Look at here, y'all. Dang. All right, we're gonna let these rest. Big old hunk of meat. Wanna let those juices inside of that ribeye just kind of get back into itself, into that meat. So whenever you cut it, juice just don't go everywhere. All right, so we're gonna let this kind of hang out for just a second and I'll be right back. All righty, they've rested a plenty. Look how that board sauce, see what that does? And then whenever we slice it, it's just gonna, you can run those slices all through there. We're just gonna flip these over. That way that other side can get some of that action. Not a lot of juices from the steak that I can see. Our RFX done a great job. Thank you very much, sir. Your services was nice. Well, this one right here, got my name on it. One reason why I like this steak here is, man, look at that spinalis right there. That's my favorite cut of a ribeye. Oh man, look at that. Good night. Look at that, medium rare, top to bottom. Let's give it a try. All right, that's butter. Jacob, come try this, like right now. Huh?
Try this one?
Yeah, running in that.
Looking good.
Golly, boy. I don't normally do that. We don't normally, you know, Jacob, you know, his lawyers and stuff tell us not to be on camera. We got to do some stuff, but good night. That's one of the best steaks I've made in a long time. I'm not just saying that. Dang. All right, that's that top end. Let's see what this midsection, let's give us a midsection right here. Look at that, Jacob. That perfect medium rare. I tell you what, really digging that RFX model, or module, I guess is what you call it. Look at those steaks, look at that. That is the cool, yeah, good point, Jacob. A lot of the other remote thermometers, the thing is, it's got a huge probe, and I don't see it anywhere in this steak. It's kind of a turnoff to me to have that big hole stuck in it. I don't see it in this one. I don't know where it's at. That's a good point, especially for a presentation. Looks like the thing was shot with a 9mm. That's a good dang steak. Dang, boy. Y'all, give this steak recipe a try. Give this board butter, or board sauce a try. It's life-changing as well. I like to do it, especially if I got the time. Whenever you pull it out for guests or whatever, people are like, what the heck did you do to this steak? But, big old hunk of meat, roast it for a little bit, put it on the griddle, get that crust. Match made in heaven. Hey, I appreciate you. See ya.
You think you could slice it from the oil?
Yeah. Is it all right if I slice like one of these?
Yeah, you can slice how.
All right.
Maybe slice that up. Well, even just for normal people, if it's like as a